Donald Trump will be releasing all of the documents surrounding the JFK assassination. It's weird that he says stuff like, subject to the receipt of further information, I will be allowing, as president, the long blocked and classified JFK files to be opened. He kind of has to, unless he has a really good reason not to. It's all as a result of something called the John F. Kennedy Assassination Records Collection Act of 1992, which in 1992 said 25 years from now, which would be October 26th of this year, 69 years after the actual assassination, we all have to release this information unless the president finds, or the national security apparatus finds, a compelling national security interest not to release this information. So, I mean, we're gonna know by the 26th. What do you guys think? Thoughts, 5 words or less?
Trump is an assy knoll.
Government being transparent, the irony.
Thanks, Donald.
We're gonna know who fired. You know, like you're fired, terrible.
We're not gonna know. There's no, I mean, if we were to have found out anything concrete, we would have found it out by now. There would have
Do you think that's true?
I do.
I hope it's just something that says, yeah, it was Oswald and this guy named Ken.
Yeah, Oswald and Ken at the grassy knoll.
Yeah, here's a picture. Here's their signed, confession. Do you think? What do you think? What are you looking for out of this?
Well, okay? So my thing about this whole story was that the government and like senators that we're talking about were like, yeah, we as the government want to be really transparent to the American people. It's like, you do? Like, what about all the weird Russia stuff? What about like healthcare? What about tax reform? Why are you wanting to be transparent about this, something that people don't really care about besides the conspiracy theorists?
Right, and then like, we're gonna be transparent in 25 years.
Right?
Like if you want to be transparent, just be like, oh, here are the documents, take them.
Yeah.
The idea was supposed to be like everyone who is affiliated would be dead by then or something.
And most people that are named are in the Warren Report as like persons of interest are dead now. So we're not gonna really find out any bombshells because of that.
Yeah. I think people, there's like the true crime, there's like the fascination with JFK. I know when I talk to my mom about JFK, she always says, every generation has that. Remember when, like for us, our generation was September 11th or Columbine or things of that nature. I think it will take, if something comes out about this, it would take away from the allure of the assassination of John F. Kennedy, because I think there's a sense of I think there's a sense of glamour when we talk about Jackie O and JFK and that whole legacy and that whole saga. That for them to give information that won't be as glamorous as what we know so far would be kind of like masturbation without the payoff. It's like, okay, that's it. That's all we get.
It's gonna, and yeah. Why are we fascinated with this?
Because they were. Well, he was a president who was assassinated, and according to that one X-Men movie, he was also a mutant. And because they were the Camelot, it was this glamorous family. They had all this what's the word I'm looking for? They had all this.
They were beauty, like the Kardashians and
of that time, and plus Marilyn Monroe. There was just so many different elements that came into play with the Kennedys that make you that draws you into it. And now for us to possibly get the truth, the truth is out there, and it seems interesting. I personally, for myself, never really cared. Is that wrong? I never really cared. I always thought he was a president who got assassinated. That sucks. But if there's something that's gonna come out that's gonna make it seem more interesting, then I'm willing to hear it.
I don't think it can get any more interesting. I think that the reason why we care about this story is because when you look into the details surrounding the assassination, there are so many things that just don't really make sense. And I really do plan on doing a whole Murder with Friends episode about it, because I think the JFK assassination is fascinating, but there are a couple things just like off the top right now. Like for example, he was spotted sipping a Dr. Pepper. Lee Harvey Oswald was spotted sipping a Dr. Pepper on X floor of the Texas School Book Depository building at X time by a coworker that she had no reason to make this up, like no reason to fabricate this information. And this would have been a certain amount of time following when the shots would have taken place. And if he were on that floor sipping a Dr. Pepper, like the witness said, he would have been like, to make that time frame, that timeline, he would have been incredibly out of breath. So it's like, and the way that the shell casings were found in the room, it's a little strange. The people that ran and were pointing towards the grassy knoll, again, like it's just strange. The woman in red who said that her camera was taken, why would she lie? Like
it's weird though, like you hear about the Vegas shooting, right?
Yeah.
And I know someone who was talked about on the show, but like the places they thought the sounds came from seem not to be those places.
Yeah, but I think even if you, I agree with you. I think that even if you throw that out of just like the people that were pointing towards the grassy knoll, because we've seen how easy it is to be confused, especially in sort of that, in Dealey Plaza, like in that sort of an area where the sound can echo, that people could be confused about where the shots were coming from. Throw that out. There's still a lot of questions regarding the beginning of that day. And Lee Harvey Oswald and Jack Ruby assassinating him 2 days later, and Oswald saying that he would tell the investigators everything as long as he was taken out of Texas for whatever reason, like he wouldn't be able to say anything in Texas. It all could mean nothing, and I don't think we're ever gonna find out answers, but it's compelling because there are questions abound. The autopsy, the 2 autopsies.
You got Cuba, you got JFK's dad's long affiliation with organized crime. Like you have all of that and you don't know. My favorite theory is that there were shots that went off, but then there was a security guard who fumbled for his gun and ended up shooting the president.
Yeah, I've heard
That's
that one.
another one where it's like that would explain why it went like this and then forward really quickly. I don't know. I'm really interested in knowing what it is, but my faith that there will be this bombshell revelation
is minimal.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. But one conspiracy theory that I don't think means anything, but I remember when I took a class called the JFK Assassination through film, which basically talked about how American cinema was impacted by the assassination of a sitting president, and just how that was connected to horror movies and other sorts of themes that were shown in movies at that time. It was a really cool class, and there was one moment that our teacher eventually was like, yeah, I don't think it meant anything, but he just showed us this on the Zapruder film, which was this guy, and it's called The Umbrella Man, and he opens up an umbrella, and you just see him, and it was a sunny day in Dealey Plaza, so it's not, unless you're really guarding your skin, there's really no reason to have had an umbrella. So he opens up this umbrella, and then shortly after almost immediately after, the shots are fired. And so a lot of people speculated that that was a signal. Some guy said, when I open the umbrella, then I have the visual, and that's when the shot, right? And so you watch it on the Zapruder film, and you can see this guy open the umbrella, and you're like, oh God, it's a conspiracy. And then the teacher's like, yeah, it's probably nothing, but
it was sunny.
But that's what I mean is that that's why this is so interesting that these reports are coming forward or that they're going to be released, is because the JFK assassination is like rabbit hole city. If you're looking for that rabbit hole, then you want to find out the identity. Who was the umbrella man? And there's some people on the other side of the street who took photos. Could we see the umbrella man through there? And it looks like he opened the umbrella and then immediately left. What does he know? You could just go down rabbit hole after rabbit hole. But I don't think there's anything substantial that's going to come out.
And I think regardless of what is said and what is put out from this, the people that believe in that and the people that believe in other conspiracy theories are still gonna believe in that. They're gonna be like, oh, the government is lying to me, I still believe this, I still believe this.
There's still this process of I'm trying to figure out what could be in here that would be a reason for the president or the CIA to say, actually, we're not gonna. Because it's still, but it seems like it's structured as an all or nothing. Either there's stuff in here that's compromising and we won't release it. It won't be like, hey, let's release everything except the part that says, well, the CIA paid Russia to kill the president.
And what relevance does any of this have today? You know what I mean? How is this?
My thing is the president's writing so I will be allowing as president the long blocked and classified JFK files to be open. So all the headlines that you're reading right now make it seem like Trump was like, what am I gonna do Thursday? I might as well release all the JFK files, but that's not it. It's absolutely the president has to do this because of an act passed in 1992.
He watched the Oliver Stone movie JFK and he's like, oh shit, if only someone could I think I'm president, I guess I might as well.
Is this a me thing?
Yeah.
Is this an I can do thing? All right, let's do it. But no, that's not it at all. All right, that's all the time we have for this segment. Thanks for watching the live feed. Don't forget to check back throughout the week for more videos coming from Pop Trigger. We'll see you next time.